done though. At this time, I'm going to go through your 2.10 notes, but if you recall, I'm sort of using this as a module 2 review or recap. So here we've got the 3 forms of a quadratic: standard form, vertex form, intercept form. The y-intercept is where the point crosses the graph, rather, it crosses the y-axis, and the x-intercept where it crosses the x-axis. So given the equation of the parabola in standard form and its graph, identify the y-intercept. So try to notice a connection between the equation and the location. So here is 1, 2, 3, negative 4. So when you write that, it would be 0, negative 4. So on the graph, you have it right there. On the equation, when I plug in 0, I get that last point. So this goes away. 0 squared is 0. 2 times 0 minus 0 minus 4. So y equals negative 4. So the connection is when x equals 0, y is negative 4. On the graph, that's where the graph crosses the y-axis. Remember, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So I know it gets a little tricky because the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, but that's where x is 0. The x-intercept is where y equals 0, where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, letter B. The y-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 0, negative 6. If I plugged in 0 for x, 0 squared plus 0 minus 6, I would get y equals negative 6. And finally, this graph opens down, but the y-intercept is still right here. You can only have one y-intercept. You can have 0, 1, or 2 x-intercepts. So there's only one y-intercept on any graph. Up to 1. I mean, there could be none. Okay, so I'm going to plug in 0. But hopefully you see that connection right away. Goes away, and I'm left with 4. On the graph, 0, 4. So I really hit graphing kind of hard this semester. So hopefully you're seeing that connection with your graphing calculator that we're doing algebraically. Okay, without looking at the graph, try to predict. 0, 0, 7. 0, 0, 8. 0, 0, negative 6. Okay? Goes away, goes away, goes away, goes away, goes away, goes away. But the sign in front of that number is very important. Now put each problem into your calculator to verify that it's correct. So I'm not going to spend too much time doing that because I want this video to stay relatively short. So if I just did the 1, clear, I've got stats on here, second stat plot off. So if I just did this last one that you can still see, x squared, oopsies, I gotta go to y equals x squared plus 5x minus 6. So if you want to be absolutely certain that you got it correct on your test, that's what you would do. Just make sure it crosses at 0, negative 6. Okay, moving on. Given a quadratic form equation in standard form, the blank is located at, so the y-intercept, that's sort of the summary, is located at 0, comma, c, whatever that constant is. That stands for constant. So I know that this is a quadratic because it's degree 2. Here's the linear. That's degree 1. And then the constant. All right, number 3, given the equation of a parabola in intercept form and its graph, identify the x-intercept. So this is an intercept form. So in class, I would set each one equal to 0. So add 3, add 3. So x equals 3. 1, 2, 3. And minus 1, minus 1. X equals negative 1. So the connection between the equation and the graph is the same points when I set my factors equal to 0, the y-intercept appears, is found. On the graphing calculator, it's where it crosses. On graph, where it crosses x-axis. So I put this on the board quite a bit. We've talked about it a lot. So there you have it. So these x-intercepts are 1, 0, and 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5, 0. So if you have it in intercept form, make it easy on yourself. But don't forget that the y is 0. Wherever the 0 lands is really important. Why is it called an ordered pair? Because order matters. So it matters who's 0 first and who's blank 0. So this is going to be your y-intercept, and this is always going to be an x-intercept, because that's where y is 0 and x is 0. Okay. Graphically, I would set x plus 5 equal to 0. So x is negative 5, and x minus 1 equal to 0. X equals 1. So you could do it algebraically or graphically. All right, so then this one, I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in. X plus 4 equal to 0. X equals negative 4. And x plus 2 equal to 0. X equals negative 2. So negative 2, 0, and negative 4, 0. Without looking at the graph, try to predict. So we're just going to set each of these equal to 0. So negative 1, 0, negative 2, 0, 3, 0, negative 4, 0, 2, 0, 8, 0. Anytime you want to pause the video and try it yourself, you should. But given a quadratic in an intercept form, the x-intercepts, now I'll kind of put this in parentheses because there could be 0, 1, or 2 x-intercepts. We'll talk about this a lot more in Module 3, but this would be no x-intercepts if it opened above. This would be 1 if it just touched it, and then this would be 2. 1, 2. So those are the 3 different scenarios you could have. But those would happen at P0 and Q0. This is just applying it algebraically, what you just did 6 times. All right, given the equation in standard or intercept, which information can you quickly and easily identify from the graph? So this is in standard form. It's a lot easier to find the y-intercept, 0, 6. This is in factored form, so it's a lot easier to find the x-intercept, 7, 0, and negative 10, 0. This is back to standard form, so it's a lot easier to find the y-intercept, 0, negative 1. If you had to find this vertex, you would have to FOIL it out. If you had to find this vertex, you would have to complete the square. Alrighty. Okay, trying to keep this to... So don't forget about vertex form. What information can we quickly and easily determine about a parabola given it in vertex form? Hopefully you know that by now. Of course you can find the vertex. And that's located at HK. Now let's put it all together. If you are, this is right off of our quiz today, so if you're having flashbacks, you're correct. You're given one parabola and its 3 equivalent forms. Without using your graphing calculator, sketch the graph of the parabola, including its x-intercepts, y-intercept, and vertex. So standard form, what can I get? I can get the y-intercept, 0, negative 8. I'm going to put that nice and big there. Intercept form, I can get the 2 x-intercept, negative 4, 0, 2, 0. And then the vertex form, I can get the vertex quickly. I always put a V in front of it. -1, -9. -1, -9. And if you remember my video from last week, I talked about the intercepts being right, the vertex being right between the x-intercepts. Right between the x-intercepts. So hopefully, I just got logged out. All right. Okay, turn the page. Standard form, intercept form, vertex form. So on your quiz, I made this smaller so I could fit it on one page, so your vertex didn't fit. But now you do have room for it, so yay. So really quickly from here, standard form, I can get the y-intercept, which is 0, -12. I can get the intercept form. I can get the x-intercepts, -6, 0, 2, 0. And then the vertex form, I can easily get the vertex, -2, -16. So -2, -16. Now it fits. Yay! So remember, it's a U shape, so don't make it a V shape. It's a U shape. All right. Turn the page. If again, I know you already did this one, so I'd say pause the video, but I know that you already did some of the struggle today. So I lost my blue. Here we go. All right, challenge, convert it in vertex to intercept. So that means I have to FOIL first. I cannot go directly from vertex form to intercept form. FOIL first. So I've got y equals x minus 1 times x minus 1 minus 25. Y equals x squared minus 1x minus 1x plus 1 minus 25. These are your like terms. These are your like terms. So y equals x squared minus 2x minus 24. So right there, that would tell me the y-intercept. Okay. And I would also factor it. So I could factor it. Factors of -24 that add up to -2 would be -6, +4. So this would be x minus 6, x plus 4. So that means x is 6, x is -4. 6, 0, 4, 0. Oopsies, -4, 0 are the intercepts. So you can have a real quick sketch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to. And then the vertex is going to be in between there. So if I were to complete the square, I would have x squared minus 2x. Half of 2 is 1, squared is 1. Minus 24 minus 1. So x minus 1 squared minus 25. So the vertex is 1, -25. Again, don't have to do all that. That's going to be way down here. But if you wanted to sketch that out, there you go. If you wanted to put it right here. Oh, that was dumb. That was already right there. I thought that was funny. Okay. So if you were to factor this out or to FOIL it out on here, that's how you would check that your FOIL is correct. So remember, x minus 1 squared minus 25. And then my y2 value would be, if I were to check it, x squared minus 2x minus 24. So graph. Only one function. Okay, press graph. I don't know what that's doing, but. So then the red is going to go right over this. And yay. Okay. Challenge. You're given the equation of a parabola in intercept form. You can easily find the x-intercepts, find the y-intercept without using your calculator. So in order to go in standard form, I have to FOIL this out. FOIL this out. So I've got x plus 3, x plus 8, x squared plus 8x plus 3x plus 24. Ooh, that's an ugly 2. X squared plus 11x plus 24. So the x-intercepts and the y-intercept is right there. So the y-intercept is 0, 24. And the x-intercepts from this -3, 0 and -8, 0. Now let's say I'm like, oh, that's a lot of work. You could plug in 0 right here. You could say 0 plus 3 times 0 plus 8 is 3 times 8, which is 24. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, just make sure you put it as an ordered pair. And if you use your graphing calculator, clear. I'm going to undo this, clear everything, reset, because it doesn't like what I'm selling right now. I do a lot of stats on this, so it's stats is very different to graph. It is very restrictive. So anyways, let's say I graphed that. Now you can see your intercepts are correct, -4, 0 and -8, 0. But you can find your vertex that way. Remember, way back at the beginning of the chapter, we used our table. So if I know that -4 and -8 are my two intercepts, that means that my vertex is going to see the pattern. So there's the 0, there's the -4, there's the -6 in there. If you had to find the vertex, which we don't. It's going to be ugly because this is odd. So half of 11 is a fraction. Yuck. But the y-intercept, you can just go to your 0, 24, and there it is right there. I'm going to zoom just so you can see 0, 24, super duper big. Yay. Okay, and finally, you're given the equation in vertex form. You can, let's see, so that's a little too big, Buck. All right, find the y-intercept without using your calculator. So again, I can just do 0 minus 5 squared plus 11. So that's 25 plus 11, which is 36. So that's the y-intercept, 0, 36. The vertex is 5, 11. Okay, if you were like, I'm not sure, I'm going to FOIL this out. This is the beauty of the end of the chapter, is you have so many tools in your toolbox that you can use. Like terms. So x squared minus, oh my gosh, I'm off the grid. Fuck. Sorry, everybody. Okay. I FOILed. Mine plus 36. So there's your y-intercept right there. So there's a couple ways you can find it algebraically if you were like, nope, going to use my graphing calculator, thanks. So great. So x minus 5 squared plus 11. Graph. So you don't have to move any forms around if you don't want to. And then you'd go to your table. Now, some of you might be like, I can't see this. Well, think about that. Your y-intercept is 36. It's off the grid. So if you don't want to change your window, it doesn't matter. If you absolutely wanted to see it, you'd have to make your y-max be like 100. And your x-min and x-max be like, I mean, you can make it whatever you want. That's the beauty of a calculator. So if I made it -50 and 50, now you have your thing. But it doesn't matter because the table is what I need, and I want to know where is x. When x is 0, y is 36. Ding, 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 ding. So I know that I did it right. All right, my darlings, that is today's review video, which was 210 notes, which is really kind of off your notes, but just a little bit better and nicer. So check it. Turn it in tomorrow with your packet of love and your test, and study hard. Love, love.